You're listening to The Monetized Mom, the podcast that teaches moms of faith how to monetize their expertise online to create influence, impact, income, and more importantly, financial independence. I'm your host, Flo Alexander. Let's chat. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm super excited to be here, as always, y'all. I love recording these podcast episodes and just sharing behind the scenes of what's really happening in my business and sometimes even my life. So if you have been tuned in for the last few podcast episodes, then you know by now that I am doing a lot of things differently in my business. So when I was reflecting on how I was operating and what needed to change to become a lot more passive, I realized a grave mistake that I was making that was not only causing me to leave money on the table, but costing me money in the process. And that, ladies, is having a free lead magnet. And I know I just shook some of y'all's world, but let me explain. So I have been using lead magnets probably since 2015. So as you might imagine, I've had email lists as big as like 12,000 people, and I still have a pretty big list. I think right now I'm hovering around like 8,000 or 9,000 altogether between my two businesses or two sides of my businesses. But nonetheless, I keep it clean. I try to delete people, but it's gotten as high as probably like 12,000 people on my email list. And I remember being at zero. I remember the excitement of getting the first few people on my email list. I remember, like, literally in my head, I can remember and see when I had like those first 30 people on my email list, and it was just so exciting. So, obviously that's always been the thing that we've been taught: get people on your email list. Now, of course, having 12,000 or more people, all of them didn't buy from me. All right. So many of them unsubscribed, some never opened an email. I remember at one point, I just kind of deleted my whole list, which I know some people probably cringe at that thought, but I deleted like half the people off my list, and that really brought that number down. And so although, boasting about having an email list with thousands of people sounds great, it doesn't make sense financially, and I'm going to explain why. So as I was evaluating my own lead generation process, it dawned on me that the infopreneur space is the only space that collects email addresses expecting a sale from people who, one, either haven't already made a purchase, or two, they don't have the intent to buy. So my mind, when I was thinking about this, immediately went to e-commerce businesses. And the only way that you get on an email list for an e-commerce business is by either making a purchase or signing up to get a coupon to make a purchase later on, either like within a few minutes or at some point down the road. In either case, when you get on their email list, you have the intent to buy. So either you've purchased already, meaning clearly you had the intent to buy, or you plan on making a purchase, so you want to get on their email list to get that incentive, right? You want to get that 20% off or whatever it is, right? So it hit me like, why am I paying to get on people on my email list who haven't shown any intent to purchase or actually have made a buy? And when I say paying, obviously I run ads, but paying could be your time. Like if you're constantly creating content, trying to get people on your email list, why are we doing that if these people have no intent to buy? Because let's be real, we only want email addresses because we want to market to people so that they can buy our product or service. So if there isn't an intent to buy coming in, why should we expect them to ever buy? And I know, again, this has been the prevailing message of people in the marketing space. You need to grow your email list. Like I still see ads to this day basically saying, hey, I'll teach you how to grow your email list, get 1,000 leads. That looks great and it sounds great, but if these people do not have the intent of buying, they will likely never buy. I want to say that the industry average for converting people, specifically like on a webinar, from your email list is like 2%. 2%, y'all. 2%. That means 98% of the people on your email list are not going to buy from you. And I know a lot of people like to say, well, if they're not going to buy now, you'll be nurturing them to buy later. Let me tell y'all, as someone who has done this since around 2015, so count that up. That's been almost a decade, almost 10 years of having an email list. That could not be further from the truth. The majority of those people will not buy. Again, some people will. I think I look back recently on some of my past clients and I measure how long they've been on my email list before they buy. The vast majority of them were on my email list for less than a week. A matter of a few days between getting on my email list and making a purchase, enrolling in my programs. There was one client out of all the clients that I've served who was on my list for more than a year. That was only one instance. So it's a very small chance that these people, having been on your email list for years, months, whatever, will actually buy. Now, are there some cases? Yes, I just told you I had one client, but the majority of these people will not become customers. So when I thought about it, I was like, sis, you have been working backwards this whole time. We have all been working backwards this whole time. And don't get me wrong, I've always maintained a profit on my ad spend when doing lead generation campaigns. So when I have been spending money on ads to get people to opt into my email list, I have always been profitable. And that's simply because the cost of my offers significantly outweighed my ad spend. So you're talking about people are paying multiple 4 and 5 figures when they made a purchase. So yeah, me spending $30 a day on ad spend, or even less, to be honest. I only spent roughly around $10 or $15 a day. So $300, $450 a month to someone who pays a couple thousand or, several thousand. Obviously, I'm always going to be profitable in that case. But in the grand scheme of things, if I have, let's just go with the 12,000 number, people on my list, and 12,000 of them did not, pay a couple $1,000 or even $1 for that matter, the math is just not mathing overall. Yes, I'm profitable from an ad perspective, but from a business perspective, constantly paying for these people to be on my email list and them not making some kind of investment or even showing the intent to buy is a waste of money. It does not make financial sense. The math does not map. Okay. So guess what I did? I turned off my lead generation ad and I started selling one of my low ticket products. And I know most of y'all have probably seen that ad, For the Love of Ray J. I don't know how many times when people, they will comment on that ad, when people join, I literally had someone join my email list and they put their name as For the Love of Ray J. And when my clients come in, they were like, yeah, that ad For the Love of Ray J. Yes, the small percentage of people who became clients out of the 12,000 we'll just use, right? That worked for them, right? Those are the people who are go-getters. Those are going to be the action takers. But for the most part, that wasn't everybody. But I turned that very popular ad off and I started selling one of my low ticket products, which I talked about as a part of my Q4 strategies. And wouldn't you know that strangers will pay to be on my email list? Now, clearly they are buying a product, but they have the intent to buy. All right. So they bought something. So not only did they buy something that time, but it's very likely that they will buy again. Their intent coming in was and is to spend money. And so I decided that from now on, my email list will primarily be comprised of buyers, not takers. And that's not just to say people who just get on email lists are takers. But the reality is that you and I have all been on people's email lists, whether we opt in for a webinar, whatever. We went in there to take information. Many of us have sat on people's email list without the intent to buy. We getting all these emails, not reading them, not doing anything, not taking action. So what do you think people are doing on your email list? So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put some buyers on my email list. And when I do use another lead generation campaign, it will have to be coupled with an offer that will quickly convert. So meaning they will opt in, they will be presented with an offer that they will be able to quickly convert. And so I can turn the majority of those people into buyers. I know with any lead generation campaign, you're not going to get all people who become buyers, but at least I'm like, some of y'all going to have the intent of buying. And maybe the ones who didn't buy up front, perhaps they will become people who buy, but I'm not banking my whole business on having an email list of unresponsive people. And please don't get this twisted, y'all. I'm not on here complaining, being like, oh, my email list, y'all a bunch of takers, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that. That's not the heart and spirit by which I'm saying this, but I do want y'all, just like me, to be very smart and strategic about how you're spending your money, using your time, and building your business. Because to me, I was just like, why didn't I think about this 10 years ago? it should have made sense. Obviously, time, you learn over time, but I could have probably done a lot differently in business had I had this same thought process of like, let's stop getting free people on our email list who have no intent to buy, and really looking at how does the e-commerce space work. They make you buy something, or either you're going to get this coupon so that you can buy something to get on their email list. And guess what? You're probably going to continue to buy from them, if not once or twice. And when I think about being on some of the e-commerce lists that I bought something from, right? Even if I don't buy something again for several months or maybe even not a year, like I am more likely to buy from them again, especially if I like the quality of the product that I bought, and if they have something that I could use and is at a reasonable price. When they send that email, I will probably buy again. So I want y'all to think about it as that, like, having a huge email list is no longer the prize. Having a list of buyers is. Sis, are your sales looking slow? I will show you how to make 4 figures in 4 days, even if your offer isn't created and without relying on social media or ads. Head to themonetizedmom.com/sales to grab my 4 figures in 4 days masterclass, where I'll show you how to get clients on demand, break any sales drought you're in, and create a quick cash injection for your business without burning yourself out or wasting time on social media. You'll get access to my sales swipe copy and so much more. Go to themonetizedmom.com/sales to grab it on sale now. Now, since implementing this strategy, and I've only been doing it for a couple of weeks, guys, all right? But every new lead has paid to be on my email list, and I am making a profit daily. So not only that, they're action takers. So people are willing to pay for the support that they need. That's the one thing that I came to realize, like, you don't always have to do free. And again, I know this is one thing that we've always been taught, give value. And I think I even sent an email about this, like, stop giving out value, y'all. Like value does not necessarily mean that it has to be free, right? But I realized that like people are willing to pay upfront to get a solution to a problem that they're having. And I think it just makes your email marketing that much more effective, because people who pay to be on your email list pay attention. So I just think about my own behavior. I open the emails from people that I bought from because, one, I'm willing to buy again, but 2, obviously I trusted them enough. I thought they had something valuable. I thought that their expertise was something that I needed. So I'm going to open their emails and see what they say. Now, do I read every line? Because some of y'all just be writing just too long. And I know I've written long emails before. No, I don't read every line, but I am checking their email. So again, if people pay, they will begin to pay attention to you. And these will be people who are more than likely going to buy something again. All right. So why didn't I realize this before? But we're here now, right? And as always, you can learn from my mistakes. I'm telling you this. So if you have been like, man, no one's joining my email list, go sell something. Get buyers on your email list. Stop focusing on building this list of people who do not have the intent or have not made a purchase from you, because it's going to be a very difficult uphill battle trying to get people who've gotten something for free to then decide that they want to pay. Now, let me tell you this. Human psychology tells you that when people get free stuff, they almost feel obligated to then pay you, right? Especially if it's been something of value. So think about when you do a favor for someone, they sometimes feel obligated to pay you back, right? Do something back good, kind for you, right? But what I think is happening in this space, in the infopreneur space, is because webinars and freebies and lead magnets are all so prevalent, people already know what it is. So the whole idea that, I owe this person, I should give them something. They already know coming in like, hey, this is a way for them to market to me. I'm going to sign up for thousands of email lists and thousands of lead magnets, and I'm going to feel like I owe them nothing. So I think the industry has changed in that regard, where that psychology probably would work in any other circumstance. In this circumstance, where it's just not new anymore, right? It's not novel. Everybody knows you can sign up to get a free thing to be marketed to. What they'll do is probably sign up, then unsubscribe. Y'all know the deal because y'all have done it, right? So I think the time should be spent on creating not a lead magnet or not a lead magnet by itself, but also creating a product that you can sell. All right. Now, pretty soon I am going to be breaking down my exact funnel that I'm using and my process. So if you haven't already been on my email list, like you got in before the doors closed. Okay. If you aren't already on my email list and you want to grab that when it comes out at an exclusive price, because I am going to incentivize people who are on my email list, then be sure to check out one of my offers below. I'm not sure what's going to be in the show notes, but check out one of those offers below. Get on the email list. Be a buyer, have an intent to buy so that you can get access to what I'm going to roll out pretty soon, where I'm just going to break down exactly what I'm doing, how I'm becoming profitable. I'm literally making money every single day passively and getting people on my email list who are truly interested in what I have to offer. And I will just say the quality of leads, and again, no one's quote unquote bad quality as a person, but the quality of leads, meaning people who are ideal for the offers that I have, has increased dramatically. I don't know what it is. I know what it is. Putting a price tag on something, it just weeds out the people who are not serious. And I really am having conversations with some very high quality leads who are fit for what I have to offer. So anyway, if you're interested in seeing behind the scenes of that process, definitely get on the email list by way of making a purchase, and you will get access to that whenever it comes out. And I think it'll be pretty soon. All right. With that said, I will talk to you in the next episode.